Okay, family, we're going to have a little bit of a Dutch aunt talk this morning on Psalm 41 and strategic investing in the kingdom. So I got a little bit of my dander up, a little bit feisty this morning, so buckle up. In this psalm, the first 3 verses, I really couldn't get past them. He's talking about, blessed is he who considers the poor, the Lord will deliver him in time of trouble. The Lord will preserve him and keep him alive. He'll be blessed. He won't deliver him to the will of his enemy. He'll strengthen him on his bed of illness and sustain him in his sickness. So I just want to talk to you about strategic investing in the kingdom. You reap what you sow. What are you sowing? You have to give God something to work with. I'm not talking about using God. I'm talking about being sober-minded about the way that the kingdom works. We're not going to use God. We're not going to game God. God is not a candy machine where you put some money in and you get something out. What God is talking about here is our heart. But he's also talking about don't be an idiot. Okay? Life is not ragu. You know, you put something in and you get steak out. All right? It doesn't work that way. I had a friend that just used to really upset me because she just throw money away. She wasn't scattering, she wasn't sowing, she was throwing it away. And then wondered why she was in trouble. Oh, I just give too much. I don't understand. No, you throw money at things. You don't listen to the Lord. You don't see where people are hurting. You don't give strategically. It's like investing. Okay? So, you're concerned about housing for yourself. What can you do as far as giving into the kingdom to make sure that other people have housing? You're concerned about having food to eat. Okay. What have you sown into the kingdom so that God has something to work with spiritually in order to bless you to make sure that you have food to eat? You reap what you sow. You're not going to plant a seed of corn, okay, and expect wheat. All right, it doesn't work like that. So, are you concerned about the salvation of your children? Okay, what are you sowing? Are you sowing worry or are you sowing time? And time is probably more valuable than cash. Although cash, your money, is an indicator of where your heart is. But what are you giving? What are you sowing? For the word, for other people's needs, for yourself, spiritually and physically. Now, here's a little comment. Here's a little bonus. Um, this is talking about strengthening and sustaining. Well, that's treading water if you want to improve. A merry heart doeth good like medicine. You can move from treading water to going forward. But notice it's the Lord that delivers and the Lord that strengthens. But the first part is you had an open heart to consider others. You had an open heart to consider others. But, like anything, there's a difference between saving and investing. Okay. But the Lord expects us to be wise with our resources. Don't just throw it away and spill over and ha 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 and, pay for people to have a good time at dinner and then expect, that wasn't intentional. That was throwing money away. But I think the Lord is asking us to have an open heart, notice the poor, be engaged, do something about that. And because you have an open heart, God has something open to fill. But if you're worried about housing for yourself, find a way to help others with housing. Maybe you don't have money. Excuse me. Maybe you don't have money, but you have time and you can work like with Habitat for Humanity. Are you worried that your heating bills and it's cold? Okay. Have a heart for other people. There's charities that make sure that people have heat. You can also maybe pay somebody else's heating bill when you have money, or invite them over for a warm dinner. You got to give God something to work with when you're investing into the kingdom. It's not just this life, we're investing for eternity. So, as my dad used to tell me, God gave you a head, use it. So, be strategic about your investments in the kingdom. Okay? You're worried about your physical strength, and if you get sick, recovering. Sounds like you need to have a heart for the poor. The prescription is right here in Psalm 41. So, I just don't want you caught short thinking, oh, my problem is I give too much. That's caca. Okay? Which is Portuguese for poop. So, yeah. God is a wise Father, and he will not be gamed. He won't be played. But if God has given you a resource and you have enough for yourself, then I would invest it in the kingdom. Anyway, thoughts to consider as far as building a life forward. And remember, you're not just building for your time here on earth, you're building for eternity. You're sending stuff ahead, okay, into the next dimension. Okay, so something to think about. Anyway, they say, okay, saving, you're treading water, investing, you're moving ahead. There you go. So, as always, the psalm will be where you click on the word more. And I hope this encourages you. Be strategic with the resources that God has given you and have a heart for others. With an open heart, God has something to pour into. If your heart is closed, he can pour. You won't catch nothing. Have a fabulous day. All God's best.